What the girls are doing? Let's do another pickup. Today's gonna be how do they see you now? That could be fascinating. That could be triggering. So stay cool. Oh, no. We do 2 parts and then we develop. Of course, we know the deal. Like said, you do that every day. I know. Just in case. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Part number 1. How do they see you now? Knight of Pentacle, 2 of Sword, 7 of Wands. I have the feeling 7 of Wands will come out. Well, how do they see you now? They definitely see you now. The thing is, they were very slow to move toward you. I generally call the Knight of Pentacles a turtle because it's very slow indeed. But who wins the race at the end? We know. Okay, so that person was very slow for a reason. Because they were actually protecting their heart. They took a decision a long time ago, and that could come from childhood, that could come from an issue of abandonment, sadness, not being heard when they were growing up, things like that. They're being so hurt that they decide to never really truly open the heart, never say what they truly feel. It's a protection. It's not because they don't love you. For few of you, maybe there's a choice between 2, but I don't think. What is this noise? Okay, but it's for very few of you, it might be a choice between 2, but it's really not many. I think we need an introspection, but doing an introspection is again going within, and they're very afraid to go within. They prefer to close their eyes and not look at it. But we can see that they have some struggle here to express what they feel. That's why they go very, very slowly. Also, as an indication, for some people, you have money, you're expecting some money, it's been delayed, but it's on its way. So just something like that. Right, so extra information for you. So what I will say to you, there's going to be something happening very differently. They're going to turn around and they're going to actually fight and say, I love you and I fight for you now. I want to fight and open my heart as well. I want to do what I need to do, because it's, for me, so relevant now. If I don't do that for you, who am I going to do it for? So they have a need to express their love, and it's going to be a turnaround that's going to be like, wow, I wasn't even expecting it. I wasn't even hoping it will happen, but here you have it. And that could be in a matter of days or hours, because one is very quick. But we have a fire in the belly. We have a lot of passion as well, but we're not doing the va-va-voom thing. I mean, of course they have passion, but what I'm saying is it's not really what drives it. What drives them is the need to say, I want to fight for the truth. I want to, for once in my life, feel like I can express myself, feel free to say what I feel for you. Because they feel as well that, because they observe you for a long time, they know that you're not going to play with their heart. They know now. They know. So, I appreciate that when you're being burned before, you might take a little extra moment before you open the heart again, because you do know so well that when you're vulnerable, you can be hurt so easily. And it is true. And that's why you take your time, jumping into a love story thinking this is it, be aware that it's not always the case. Okay, so let's have a look. You and I were too young, too green, too afraid, too something. Forget about young, doesn't really have to be. Is you and them, you were maybe on the same page and you were both maybe afraid of being hurt. So maybe it's not just you or them, it's both of you. You were like trying to protect your heart because you know too well what it means to be hurt, and it does hurt so deeply. My God, it is such a heavy pain. I mean, when you have a broken heart or your heart is just broken, it's just so terrible. I mean, physical pain is not great, but when it's your heart, and it seems to take years to recover and to regroup, if ever. All right. At least women, we kind of have a capacity to share what we feel. Men, they don't particularly share. They keep it within, so it lasts longer. The pain is maybe even deeper at some point. Okay, so very sad. All right. So love, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. I think we had that yesterday. Beautiful design. You have a love story, of course you do. You do. So I think only love can make you open your heart fully. I think only love can do. But also maybe self-love for some of you, because you don't think you deserve that love. But that's not true. Of course you deserve love. You're lovable. But maybe you grew up in an environment when they never told you that. or you had no kind of hugs or physical aspect to feel that love, because maybe sometimes words cannot express, but hugs and kisses and holding you make you feel like you're safe. Maybe you didn't have that when you were growing up. I know the vibe. Children, your love life is being affected by children. Yes, maybe you're in a relationship and you cannot have children, or they already have children, or you have children, and so you have to think about that. Fair enough. The thing is, you don't want to bring someone new every week, to your children. So you want to take time to know that this is a love story, this is a long-term relationship, and it's gonna last forever. At least we're gonna try to do that. So maybe children, yes, the stability of the children, but simply maybe you can't have children, and maybe they would be quite happy to have children. So that is, of course, how do you deal with that? That's another story, okay? But it doesn't remove how much love you have for each other. But maybe that is another hurdle you had to go through, okay? So how do they see you now? They see that they really want to fight for you. They took their time to look at you, to analyze you, and now they're taking maybe a chance to open their heart, but allowing the mind to maybe switch off for a minute and let the heart talk. It's quite important to do that. You need to express what you feel. It's really important, okay? So and you should be feeling safe to express your feelings. That is very important. Otherwise, you're going to keep it within and nothing's going to happen, right? Okay, so pile number 2, I do the see you now. 4 of Cups, Page of Cups, Ace of Swords. Well, in my face here. Well, they see you very, very well. They see you with a lot of clarity. Absolutely. They went through a 10 of Swords, and maybe you as well. We were talking on pile number 1 about the pain. Yeah, you went through a 10 of Swords that was so terrible, so painful. Now you're very clear. You know what you want, you know what you don't want. The thing is, now they want as well to express their feelings. Maybe you as well. It goes both sides. But you feel like you want maybe to apologize, or, don't spend too much time on the apology. Let's try to see. I mean, it's important to apologize, don't get me wrong, but it's more important to know what went wrong and trying to fix it, instead of saying sorry but not really clear on what went wrong. More importantly is to express the love, because there is love here, and the clarity of the mind. So we have the Ace of Cups and we have the Ace of Sword. The Ace of Cups here is also, we know that is love at first sight. So what could have happened, and they fell in love with you and you as well. Somehow there was and then wow, a bit overwhelmed by all of that. And also, let's not forget that Ace of Cups is right there. But maybe, there was still some sadness. I mean, when you remove the Ace of Cups, you have someone who is depressed, down, deflated. And that needed to be cleared. And maybe when they met you, it was easy to fall in love with you, but to know what to say, what to do, and how to deal with it, wow, maybe that was not that straightforward. At the end of the day, what you do have here is someone who recognized, you touched my heart, but before I met you, I was maybe a bit deflated and a little bit down. I was a bit sad. My life was like, yeah, I don't really know what to be excited about. I go to work, I come back home. That's what it is. For many people, that's what it is. So nothing really kind of exciting, but there is a sadness, maybe that never been expressed. Maybe they don't even know why that sadness exists and where it comes from. They may be depressed, and maybe you were the same, depressed, but when you met, that was a kind of like a knowing, I feel your pain. I can see your pain. I feel it, I sense it, I know it, because I have the same. So when you both have that, and you have suddenly that light, that beautiful love, it can be as well inevitably overwhelming, but also you never really deal with what's going on down there. And you need to look into this, because it's like a crack in a wall. If you don't fix it, the crack will get bigger and bigger. Maybe falling in love is always nice and easy, but if we don't deal with what's underneath, so then you have an issue, because those problems underneath will come back and haunt you, okay? So I hope that you can forgive me one day. Yeah, there is a sense of asking for forgiveness, but what did they do? Maybe they did hurt you. Maybe that's the 10 of Swords before the Ace of Swords, but did they hurt you because they're also suffering themselves, and they feel down, and they kind of self-destructing? And maybe that happens sometimes for men. They fall in love, and then they shoot themselves in the foot. They self-destroy because of fear. And then you recognize, why did I do that? What was I thinking? So, but you recognize it wasn't because they were twisted, it's because they were fearful. You understand the pain, let's not forget, you have the same one. But sometimes when you are both the same pain, when the disconnection happen, the lack of communication happen, then he goes really deep and it's painful because you both don't really know what to do. You kind of froze and also down and depressed. So that is never the answer. What do I have? Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Yeah, deny. Look at this design. Deny, yeah, because no, I'm fine, all is well. No, this not it. No, maybe they deny that pain because they live with that pain for many years. So they deny there was anything wrong with them. It's not being anything wrong with them. It's like they're being hurt, but they never really cry the tears. They're being really hurt or consistently being hurt, and they're trying to deny the pain because it's easier to live like that, but it's not the solution. So maybe what happened here is they suddenly aware that they had some issue before and they never really handle it or never face it, and meeting you was actually an eye-opening or a heart opening, I should say. So denying the pain because it's easier to say it doesn't exist. No, I'm fine. How many people say I'm fine and they're not? The thing is denying the pain. How long can you deny your pain? Because now maybe that pain made them kind of self-sabotage. Oh, it's going to end up badly, so let's just stop right there. That is not the solution either. So that is destroying what is the very best thing happening to their life, and for you as well. Forgiving and learning. Here you go. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moment. What did I say about healing the past? I'm in good form today. Yes, healing the past. This had to be, faced. These had to be cried. Those tears, whatever. Release the pain of the past, and then you can actually be free to love and be loved. That is my point. So there's nothing really to forgive. It's simply maybe for themselves to forgive themselves, and you as well. I think you're very similar, both of you. But the thing is, you have to release the past. It is difficult, but the past was what? 10 of sword. Now you have the clarity. Now you know, because of this connection, there was some pain that you experienced maybe at a very young age, and now you realize the extent of that pain. You never had a chance to understand that, so now you know. But releasing it is so important. We need to get rid of that, and maybe that will be an 8 of Cups, the next step, because then you can remove what is behind you and let go of those baggages and finally be open for love. And that is so beautiful, with a lot of clarity as well. So when you have the clarity of the mind and the clarity of the heart, what else do you want? Beautiful. But it takes time. So no, don't expect that it's going to happen in 2 minutes. And be kind to each other because you're processing all of that. Okay, on this note, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Ciao.